Welcome to USP 800, Spill Kits and Cleanup in the Pharmacy. USP 800 standards require training for all personnel who handle hazardous drugs, or HDs. Your organization is providing this program on the use of spill kits to clean up HD spills as part of their commitment to comply with the USP 800 standards and keep you and your coworkers safe in the workplace. Spills are more likely to occur where compounding is common and HDs are frequently handled. But spills are inevitable in any pharmacy setting where prescriptions for HDs are stored and filled. When spills do occur, the health risk to pharmacy staffers can be high if a spill kit is not readily available and the documented procedures for cleaning up the spill aren't followed. To help you minimize the health risk of a spill, this program will review the policies and procedures and standard operating procedures that should be in place to safely address spills when they occur, and the steps for safely using spill kits for HD cleanup. Please speak with your supervisor if you have any questions about the material presented in this program. Staying prepared for HD spills and other inadvertent releases of hazardous drugs in your pharmacy begins with having readily available procedures. Frequently updated P&Ps and SOPs should be part of a pharmacy's overall health safety program. Your pharmacy's procedures should address spill prevention, procedures to follow when a spill occurs, and the proper use of a spill kit. P&Ps, SOPs, and spill training should cover work practices and equipment that prevent spills, an inventory of HDs the pharmacy stocks and dispenses, as well as a safety data sheet, or SDS, for each HD, readily available either in print or online, hazard communication training, and emergency procedures for responding to HD spills. Documented procedures and training should also review the facility's spill action plan, including spill containment, procedures for cleaning up spills and leaks, the use of spill kits, and selecting, donning, adjusting, wearing, and removing personal protective equipment, or PPE, and respirators. The limitations, degree of protection, proper care, maintenance, useful life, and disposal of PPE. Spill residue disposal procedures, including what to do with HD and used materials after cleanup, and processes for recording HD spills and leaks. P&Ps, SOPs, and training should review the spill kit, especially spill kit locations, including the requirement to make them available in the areas where HDs are received, stored, and prepared. Spill kit contents, from gloves to masks to scoops and pads to containment socks, and spill kit upkeep. Kits must be checked periodically for complete and usable content and expiration dates. A designated person should oversee the development and implementation of the organization's USP 800 compliant P&Ps and SOPs for handling HDs. Ensure that all individuals who work with HDs receive training. Document training provided to staff and annually assess each individual's skills, and confirm that periodic spill drills have been conducted. Hazardous drugs pose a potential hazard at all stages in their cycle, so understanding what they are and how your pharmacy should receive and store them is a must. Click each item to learn more. Click the Next button after you have viewed all items. USP Chapter 800 defines a hazardous drug as any drug identified as hazardous or potentially hazardous by the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, or NIOSH, on the basis of at least one of these 6 criteria: carcinogenicity, teratogenicity, or developmental toxicity, reproductive toxicity in humans, organ toxicity at low doses in humans or animals, genotoxicity, and new drugs that mimic existing HDs in structure or toxicity. NIOSH maintains a list of antineoplastic and other HDs used in healthcare settings. You can view the latest list by clicking the link on screen. P&Ps, SOPs, and spill training should cover Work practices and hazardous drugs pose a potential hazard at all stages in their cycle, so understanding what they are and how your pharmacy should receive and store them is a must. Click each item to learn more. Click the Next button after you have viewed all items. USP 800 recommends that HDs arrive from the supplier packaged in impervious plastic to protect the individuals who process them and to keep spills or leaks from contaminating other drugs and supplies. Not all HDs will be packaged in protective plastic, so before emptying all shipments received, take the precautionary step of checking the invoice or packing slip. If HDs are listed, staff should, at a minimum, put on gloves as a precaution. The safe intake of HDs requires having a spill kit available in the receiving area, wearing PPE when unpacking HDs. Gowns are optional, gloves are mandatory. Examining the shipping container thoroughly for signs of product damage or breakage, such as visible stains from leakage or sounds of broken glass, and placing HDs in the HD-designated storage area immediately after unpacking. Items. Store HDs and all drugs on shelves with raised lips or a similar construction to contain a spill. Never store HDs on the floor or on high shelves where pharmacy staff would have to reach to grab a drug. Instead, store at eye level or below. If they require refrigeration, store HDs in a separate dedicated refrigerator that has a label or sticker to indicate it contains HDs. USP Chapter 800 defines a hazardous. Take a moment to reinforce what you've just reviewed about being prepared for a spill before it happens. Click the Next button after you've completed the activity. Almost all pharmacies, especially compounding pharmacies, will eventually experience an HD spill or leak. This is when your equipment, preparation, and training gets put to the critical test. So in this lesson, we'll zoom in on what a spill kit contains and how it's used to contain a spill. We'll also take a look at how to deactivate, decontaminate, clean, and disinfect affected areas. What exactly is a spill kit? It's a collection of spill response tools, supplies, and PPE. It contains everything you'll need, except the training that is, to safely and effectively remove an HD spill. A spill kit saves time because it's stocked with all the tools you'll need to remove the hazardous drug from a surface or object. And it's designed so you can easily access the right items when you need them. The entire kit can be easily transported right to the area of the spill or leak. The spill kits at hand should be specifically designed to handle the types of spills likely to occur at your pharmacy.
What's in this one-of-a-kind kit for removing the danger from a spill? Spill kits typically include absorbent materials for cleaning up liquid, such as plastic-backed sheets or spill pads, and containment socks to create a leak-proof barrier around the spill. They include personal protective equipment, chemical splash goggles, gloves, N95 masks or respirator masks, suits or aprons, and booties. Remember, safety glasses do not provide protection when working with HDs. Kits may also contain tools, such as dustpans, scoops, and brushes for collecting spills, as well as drain covers to stop hazardous material from seeping into water or waste systems. You'll likely also find a puncture-proof container for disposing of glass fragments, 2 5-gallon plastic waste disposal bags, 1 Ziploc bag to isolate contaminated splash goggles after a cleanup, and hazardous drug waste labels to identify the contents of a waste disposal bag. Industry standards recommend that spill kits are checked at least every 3 months. When conducting spill kit maintenance, check the contents against a content list. Basic contents should include an instruction card, protective gear, absorbents, and waste disposal bags. Check that the supplies are in good working condition, within their use-by date, and without signs of wear and tear, particularly absorbents and containment barriers. Replace any open packages. Also, check that all spill kits are stored in an easily accessible location for immediate response to a spillage.
Before we identify the spill cleanup steps, some terms and practices deserve a call-out. First, always isolate the area so others don't contact the hazardous substance. Use warning signs to alert others to the danger. Next, check the safety data sheet for the hazardous drug to be cleaned up. Use the SDS to evaluate the hazard potential of a drug. You'll also find statements on first aid and responding to a physical emergency should an unexpected event occur. The pharmacy's SOPs must identify how to manage spills and the type of PPE they require based on their size and type. After the hazardous drug has been removed, it's time to begin the next phase of the cleanup: deactivating, decontaminating, cleaning, and disinfecting. This should be done for spills, as well as for all areas where HDs are handled, and for all reusable equipment and devices. These steps will require supplies that are not part of the spill kit and will need to be readily available in the pharmacy. Click each item to learn more. Click the Next button after you have viewed all items.
USP 800 lists 4 steps in the cleaning process: deactivation, decontamination, cleaning, and disinfecting. Deactivating renders the hazard inert or inactive. What is the correct solution to use for deactivation? Check the HD labeling for specific agents. If no specific agent is listed, use an EPA-registered oxidizer, for example, peroxide formulations or sodium. Make sure an oxidizer is on hand in the pharmacy and in date.
Following the deactivation step, decontaminating inactivates, neutralizes, or physically removes HD residue from non-disposable surfaces. The decontaminant product used should be compatible with the surface where the contamination occurred. Always follow manufacturer's use instructions exactly. Next, transfer residue to absorbent, disposable materials. Disposable materials include wipes, pads, or towels, and should be selected based on the area being cleaned. Consider testing wipe samples to assess HD work areas, such as countertops and floors, for remaining contamination. Cleaning removes loose debris or soil from the surface or object to be disinfected. Any debris remaining can contain or trap HD and leave the area hazardous. Cleaning works by using soap or detergent and water to physically remove grime from surfaces. The mechanical actions of wiping, absorbing, and sweeping are necessary to accomplish a thorough cleaning. So wipe with purpose, and typically only in one direction. No cleaning step may be performed when compounding activities are occurring. Disinfecting destroys microorganisms through the application of an EPA-registered disinfectant. Disinfectants kill germs on surfaces or objects to render them safe. Be sure this type of product is readily available for use in the pharmacy. A surface not cleaned first can hide germs under grime and degrade the disinfectant's penetrating power. Imagine that you're filling an order when you accidentally spill a hazardous drug. Now what? Click each step in the order presented to learn more. Click the Next button after you have viewed all the steps. Step 1. Begin by evaluating the spill. Then notify nearby coworkers of the danger. Call for trained help if necessary based on the size or type of the spill. If the spill is not too large or dangerous to attempt a cleanup, locate the spill kit and a respirator if you judge one to be necessary. Step 2. Refer to the SDS. The SDS or the size of the spill may require donning most or all of the other protective PPE items. Take the PPE out of the spill kit and put on both pairs of protective gloves, the mask or respirator, and the splash goggles as required. If full protection is warranted, check for any gaps, for instance between gloves and the sleeves, and make sure no skin is exposed. Step 3. After donning the required PPE, stop the discharge of the HD at the source so the spill doesn't continue. Cover any nearby drains so the spill doesn't enter the water system. If necessary, use these socks in the kit to create a leak-proof barrier around the spill. Step 4. Remove any glass fragments using the detachable scraper to gently sweep them into the scoop. Carefully place the fragments in the puncture-resistant container found in the spill kit. Step 5. Begin removing the hazardous drug substance. For liquids, use absorbent materials to absorb the liquid. For solids, use a brush and dustpan to collect the powder or particles. Step 6. Completely remove and place all contaminated materials in the hazardous waste disposal bags supplied in the spill kit. Step 7. Rinse the area with water. If the area can safely be bleached, use a sodium hypochlorite solution and a neutralizer. If bleach cannot be used, use detergent and rinse 3 times, or as needed to remove detergent and other chemicals. Place all used disposable materials in disposal bags provided in the spill kit. Step 8. Clean and disinfect the area using a germicidal detergent for cleaning and an EPA-registered disinfectant for disinfecting. Place all disposable materials used for cleanup in disposal bags provided in the spill kit. Step 9. First remove the outer gloves. Then, while wearing the inner gloves, carefully remove all PPE. Place all disposable PPE into the waste bags provided. Seal the bags and fill in the blanks on the hazardous drug labels and affix them to the bags. Then place the bags into the appropriate final container. Remove the inner gloves, place them in a small sealable bag, and deposit it into the appropriate hazardous waste disposal bag. Follow your pharmacy's procedures for disposing of hazardous waste. Wash your hands thoroughly with soap and water. Step 10. Survey the area a final time to make sure the spill is entirely cleaned. Replenish and replace spill kit contents so it's ready for the next use. Here's another activity to reinforce what we've just covered. Drag each of the boxed cleanup actions below to the step in the sequence it belongs to. The cleanup action for Step 1 has already been entered. After you've dragged all of the boxes to the step you think they belong, click Submit to check your selections. You'll have 2 attempts to get it right. After reviewing the program's content, you should now know how to prepare for an HD spill before it occurs, how to safely receive and store HDs, what your pharmacy's P&Ps, SOPs, and training should cover, what a spill kit is and what it contains, the difference between cleaning and disinfecting, and how to accomplish each, and the 10 steps for completing an HD spill cleanup. If you are uncertain of your mastery of any of these topics, please review those sections in the program or contact your supervisor.